Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We hope you've had an amazing summer, and at Applixure we've been pretty busy over the last few months, so now that everyone's really fully back to work, it's the perfect time to share what's new. So in this monthly update we'll cover the latest product improvements, the newest resources we've made available, and just a sneak peek on a few exciting things that are coming soon. So whether you're already using Applixure or you're just curious about what we do, this is your one-stop roundup to stay up to date on everything Applixure. So let me take a sip of my coffee and let's jump in. Alright guys, let's jump in straight away. We have a lot to cover, and let's start with the product updates, and specifically the product updates from Applixure Analytics. So update number 1 relates to the scoring trends. Until now, you could see the overall trend line of your device and health performance, but it wasn't always clear why the score changed. So now when you hover over a point in the trend, you'll see possible contributing factors. For example, how many devices were added to the warnings, how many were removed, or if the alerts changed significantly. This means you don't see the score just move, you understand what's driving that movement. Alright, let's jump to update number 2, and this one relates to the device rewind view. Now previously you could only track when drivers were updated. Now you'll also see when a specific driver version has been removed, and this gives IT teams a more accurate historical record, especially in cases where an old driver is cleaned up by, for example, Windows, or replaced automatically. It helps ensure you always know exactly what changed and when. Alright, next update. So we've also introduced visibility into the currently running agent version on each device. This is the actual version executing in real time, not just the one listed in the OS install records. It's useful because sometimes the device might appear up to date in the software list, but in practice it's running behind. Now you can immediately spot those cases and make sure important fixes and new features are applied everywhere. Alright, for those managing installations at scale, you're gonna love this one. We've added the option to download agent installers directly from the API. This means you can automate the installer download and deployment process in your environment rather than having to log in and fetch installers manually. So this is a big step forward for automation and integration. Alright, and finally, device serial numbers can now be used in mass tagging and attributes. So before, these imports relied mostly on host names, but as we know, host names can change or overlap. So using serial numbers makes it easier and more reliable to manage large fleets with accuracy. Alright guys, let's move on to Applixure Workflow. So we've added the ability to export the devices linked to a work item. So this makes it much easier to share device lists with colleagues, analyze them outside of Applixure, or keep a record for audit purposes. So for IT teams who use work items to track remediation tasks or projects, this small feature saves a lot of manual effort. And now on to Applixure Feedback. For our feedback customers, specifically the Windows devices, the feedback client has been upgraded to run on Net 8, which is Microsoft's latest long-term support version. Now what this means in practice is that the feedback client is now more stable, more secure, and future-proofed. So for customers, it ensures that end users can continue sharing their experience reliably without compatibility issues as Windows evolves. Alrighty, that wraps up the product updates across all 3 products. Now, if you'd like to explore these features or past updates in more detail, make sure to check out our H1 and H2 release notes. You'll also find the links there to any technical guides if they're available, if you need step-by-step instructions. Now, if you have any ideas for future improvements, we would love to hear from you, because many of our updates actually come directly from user suggestions, so please share your thoughts on our ideas board at www.ideas.applixure.com. You'll also find all the links in the comments below this video. Okay, so something new that's coming is that we're building a brand new use case library, and this will be a central place to explore how IT teams are using Applixure products and the challenges they're solving and the results they're achieving. Now, the goal is to make sure this is easy for you to find practical examples that match your own situation and to see how others have approached the same questions you might be facing. So if you would like to submit a case and be mentioned in the Applixure Use Case Hall of Fame, please reach out to communications@applixure.com or reach out to your customer success manager to submit your entry. Now, it's still in the works and it's still early days, but we'll share more very soon. So definitely watch this space. Okay, so we've also been working hard on new content to support IT teams. So first, we've now made a dedicated page where you can find all our guides on our website. So this is pretty much your go-to place for practical resources. This is from step-by-step guides to checklists and best practices. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's worth checking out. Now, One of the most important topics right now is Windows 10 to Windows 11 migration. We've recently put together again some more resources to help you plan and manage the transition if you haven't started or are in the middle of this process, so you can avoid any surprises and make sure all the applications and devices are ready. We've recorded a video lately as well, so you can check this out on our website. But if you also want more ongoing content, don't forget to follow us on YouTube and LinkedIn. We're publishing videos like this one along with shorter updates and insights, so it's just the easiest way to stay in the loop. All right, everyone, that's it for this month's update. We went through a lot, but I hope you found it useful. You can also find the full deep dive on our website in written form. And if you found this video useful, make sure to like and follow us to stay up to date with everything Applixure. Now, wishing you a productive IT season ahead, and we'll see you on the next video. Applixure out.